10 most expensive things bought by billionaires. What crazy things do billionaires spend their money on? What do you do when you have a ridiculous amount of money that you're able to spend? When you've bought exotic cars, mansions, and private jets, and taken vacations on some of the world's exclusive islands, how else can you spend your money when you make much more than you can spend? For some of the world's wealthiest people, this is sometimes the only dilemma they're faced with. Maybe when we become billionaires, we'll understand why money is spent on things many call ridiculous and crazy. But until then, we can only be left in awe at some of the insanely expensive items first billionaires have been reported to have bought. In this video, we look at the 10 most expensive things bought by billionaires. Steve Cohen's shark. Shark? You heard that right. What better way to begin the list than with something as almost unbelievable as this? If you've heard of this purchase when it happened in 2006, then maybe it would hit you hard as much as it would, knowing someone paid a whopping $8 million for a shark. To be clear, it's a dead tiger shark floating in formaldehyde in a glass panel display case. One of the pastime hobbies of some of the world's billionaires is collecting art. This helps lay a proper foundation on how or why anyone would spend that much on a piece of art. Steve Cohen, an American investor and hedge fund manager, is known for his extravagant spending as a renowned art collector. He has a collection that's reportedly worth over $1 billion. So when Charles Saatchi put Damien Hirst's The Physical Impossibility of Death in the mind of someone living, Steve Cohen did not waste any time in securing the piece for $8 million. Larry Ellison's Hawaii Island. Regular folks save up to take out a mortgage to buy a house. Multimillionaires go all out to purchase estates and over time have an impressive real estate portfolio. How do you distinguish yourself when you rank among the world's top 10 billionaires? Well, you go on vacation to an island, fall in love with it, and buy 98% of it. Larry Ellison, popularly known as the co-founder of Oracle, dropped a whopping $300 million for a Hawaiian island, Lanai, in 2012. His $300 million bought the 90,000-acre island, as well as 2 Four Seasons resorts. Ellison also became the owner of the island's main grocery store, the only gas station, and the community newspaper. With all these purchases, he became the landlord and boss for most of the island's existing residents. It's been reported that he has spent over $500 million developing the island and plans to make the first economically viable 100% green community. James Bond's submarine car. We all have that movie that sticks with us as one of our favorites. However, unlike in today's world, where movie memorabilia is easy to find, many objects in most old movies are considered collector's items. One such movie is the 007 James Bond franchise. In the 1977 James Bond movie The Spy Who Loved Me, James Bond uses an iconic car that could travel in the air, on the ground, and be converted into a submarine in the water. Agent 007 is known for his many high-tech gadgetries, but the Lotus Esprit S1 stands out in that particular movie. However, the car was lost for unknown reasons after the movie's shooting. It was rediscovered on Long Island in 1989. Someone bought a storage container for $100, opened it, and found the car with dents and without wheels. Then comes tech billionaire Elon Musk, who loved the car after watching the movie when he was young. While he was not yet the richest person in the world, he was a billionaire who could afford to buy the Lotus Esprit S1 at an auction for $997,000 in 2013. Leonardo da Vinci manuscript. It should come as no surprise that an art collector who doubles as a billionaire would want to have any of Leonardo da Vinci's items. As a matter of fact, there's hardly any art collection that wouldn't have a piece or two of Leonardo da Vinci. So it's not about the manuscript, but who made the purchase. Bill Gates has a reputation for not being a frivolous spender, a trait he shares with his friend Warren Buffett. Gates lives a pretty simple life, if we don't factor in the cost of his mansion, with the way he dresses and the cars he drives. So it comes as a surprise that he would go all out to make such a purchase for an item like this. Before becoming the world's richest person, Gates bought Leonardo da Vinci's Codex Leicester for a record $30.8 million in 1994. As extravagant as it may seem, the Codex Leicester is said to be a 72-page document containing Leonardo's sketches and ideas about subjects like astronomy, mechanics, botany, mathematics, and architecture. It was written between 1506 and 1510. It becomes clearer why younger Bill Gates would want to pay that much for a book. And by the way, the purchase makes the Codex Leicester the most expensive book ever sold. Obviously, every billionaire has indulgences and is allowed to spend on whatever they deem valuable. A $24,000 haircut. Most guys love to use the same barber as long as possible, but changing barbers can sometimes make you feel like a cheating spouse or have trust issues with the new barber. It's just something guys cannot explain, this strange loyalty and commitment to the same barber. So it's safe to say even billionaires shared the same attachment to personal barbers. Before we go all out and call a $24,000 haircut outrageous, let's understand that the Sultan of Brunei has been using the same London barber for 16 years. So what will you do when you're due for a haircut and the world is experiencing a swine flu epidemic? You have to make sure your personal barber gets to you safely. And so, the Sultan of Brunei hires a private suite on a Singapore airline to bring his London barber, Ken Modestu, over 7,000 miles to him. The special cabin ensured the barber was isolated from other passengers. Then he went on to pay for his accommodation and paid the barber several $1,000s for his service. As the personal barber to the Sultan, he's said to fly in every 3 to 4 weeks for a scheduled haircut. Now, you may be thinking Mr. Ken Modestu is a premium barber of some sort. However, he's just a barber in Mayfair's Dorchester Hotel who charges about $45 for a cut. The Sultan probably had a haircut and loved his work and swore to himself that none other would clip his hair. So what's a couple of $1,000s to ensure he looks royal for his kingdom? The $2 million photo. We have seen billionaires spend an audacious amount of money on art collections. So when billionaire William Koch outbid everyone in a Denver auction house for the only surviving authentic photograph of legendary outlaw Billy the Kid, it was just a day in the park for the billionaire. The over 130-year-old photo was expected to be worth between $300,000 and $400,000. Then came billionaire William Koch, and the rest is history. Qatari Emir's 6 Greek Islands. There was a time when billionaires set themselves apart from others by buying private jets and yachts. As other multimillionaires began to play catch-up, the world's wealthiest people had to raise the bar once more. Nowadays, it's common to see billionaires pay millions of dollars to own islands. So when billionaire Sheikh Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani was on vacation on his yacht in the turquoise waters off Ithaca, he saw the Isles and fell in love immediately. He docked, got off the yacht, and inquired about the cost of owning the islands. However, it's what he intends to do with the island that makes it more interesting. The billionaire sheikh wanted the island with the sole aim of building palaces for the exclusive pleasure of his 24 children and 3 wives. Carlos Slim $70 million museum. Most billionaires are art collectors, so there's really not much of a big deal there. But when you're Carlos Slim, a one-time world's richest person, you have to find a way to outdo the others. Carlos Slim is a renowned art collector who has spent years collecting some unique art pieces. He probably had too many of them and needed a way to showcase them or show them off to whoever loves the art. So he went ahead to build a $70 million museum, Museo Sumaya, in Mexico City, Mexico. The museum is said to house over 65,000 pieces from all of his art collections. But it gets more interesting. The museum is open to everyone and has no admission fee. So as far as Carlos Slim is concerned, keep your money and come see what I've got. Sultan of Brunei car collection. For billionaires, buying cars is the least item they have to worry about. There's really no price tag on any car today that a billionaire would not be able to afford. If you're a billionaire and love cars, why not be a collector of some of the best cars in the world? While you're thinking about it, the Sultan of Brunei has long been living the life. The reclusive Sultan of Brunei is the owner of the largest car collection in the world, which is thought to number 7,000 vehicles and be valued at more than $5 billion. But unlike Carlos Slim, the Sultan has no intentions of showing you his collection, unless you're family or a close associate. As far back as the 1990s, the Sultan has been collecting exotic cars. There's hardly any exotic car missing in his collection. He's said to have 6 Bentley Dominators, which was actually Bentley's first SUV before the commercialized Bentayga. A $4.8 billion yacht. Super yachts are a luxury item only billionaires can afford to buy and maintain. These days, billionaires compete to have the longest yacht on the sea. But if you're a billionaire and not in the mood to play catch-up with yacht fanatics, you set a high bar that no billionaire is yet to compete with. This was what a mysterious billionaire did when he asked for a $4.8 billion yacht to be built. History Supreme is built from 10,000 kilograms of solid gold and platinum and is 100 feet long. The master bedroom includes a genuine Tyrannosaurus Rex bone statue and a wall made entirely of meteorite rocks. If that wasn't enough, the master suite also has a 24-karat gold Aqua Vista panoramic wall aquarium. Which of these purchases do you think is the craziest? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section. Also, if you found this video informative and entertaining, please share it with your friends. And kindly give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring videos. See you in the next video.